somebody call the police. A man is being held hostage against his will. Eric Ten Hag, man, is if he's surviving, I tell you what, he's surviving on proper outlaw stuff, right? I cannot believe the fact this team goes 2-0 up to 3-2 down and relying on a set piece with Harry Maguire at the back post getting the header in is the only reason why. It is literally the only reason why. So two goalkeeping errors. Is my camera working properly there? Don't know what's going on with my internet, man. My internet is absolutely clapped. But yeah, tonight basically is two goalkeeping errors from a Manchester United supporter goalkeeper and Harry Maguire doing what he should be doing most weeks during the time that he's been at the club. So the precipice of the game was as expected. Not really much conviction to it. Same as Tottenham, pretty much. No genuine improvement. No like proper fight. There's a lot of players, individual performances that look like they'd just rather be anywhere else but there. The centre back partnership today looked quite woeful. I think the midfield situation is unbelievably bad. Unbelievably bad. Casemiro lasting for 90 minutes with that performance is actually a madness. That's wild. That's actually wild. We didn't have Kobe Mainu, so maybe Mainu would have started instead of Casemiro today. But yet still, for 90 minutes, him and Eriksen, man, that back four got cooked. Got cooked. Midfield got cooked. That strike force, the amount of times in final third, cooking themselves with bad decisions and bad execution, lackluster. And Bruno Fernandes, who was just like, do you know what? I've got to give him this, right? UEFA succeeded where the English FA couldn't, right? UEFA succeeded where UEFA where the FA couldn't. So Bruno's now suspended again, right? Again. This time in Europe. Second game running, second straight red card. Not straight red card, but second yellow. Still a red. And yeah, it absolutely just reeks. It stinks. All of this stinks. And there are people out there that are celebrating this as like, oh my god, yes, so Maguire, we've not lost, haha. Eric Ten Hag out as, oh, ha ha ha, we're still cooking, yeah, we're still there. Oh my god, seriously, just stop, please, I beg you, stop embarrassing yourself. Really, stop embarrassing yourselves. We were trash today. Garbage. The fact that we've scored 3 goals today, I think, is a fallacy. Genuine fallacy. 2 of them came from mistakes, and the last one was just lump it into a box where we got a very tall player who's meant to be very good at heading. But well done. Conceded 3 goals as well from being 2-0 up. We should have lost that by a lot more. We should have lost. 100% should have lost that game. So, I don't know. I think some of these substitutions that the manager made, like for example, in the state of losing 3-2, now people will say, but one of his substitutions at centre backs rescued a draw. Can't be saying that now. See, look, I told you, Fuzz doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know ball. He's clueless. He doesn't get how football works. No, he doesn't understand tactics. You realise, right, that throwing on centre backs into the box at the end of the game is just entirely a lottery game. You're literally playing a lottery game. You're praying that you get the meal ticket payout. That's the only logic. There's no tactical attrition, right? There's no tactical affiliation to subbing on two centre backs whilst taking off two centre backs. This guy made that decision at 3-2. That's a sort of decision where you're concerned about the legs of your back line whilst you're winning, and you think fresh legs, fresh minds might be able to get the result across the line. You don't do that when you're 3-2 down. You do it when you're 3-2 up, not down. So, real, genuine baffler. Genuine baffler. Like, I swear to God. And that's why I've titled the video the way I have. Maguire keeps Ten Hag hostage. This man could walk away tomorrow with £17 million in pocket change. He can live off well for at least a couple of years with that. Genuinely could live well for a couple of years. But no, Maguire's just like, do you know what? We're going to prolong your misery, Mr. Manager, and for some of the fans, we're going to keep everyone guessing. I'll give you this, right? The luxuries that we were afforded against Porto tonight, we will not be afforded them on the weekend against Aston Villa. We won't see that survivability. We won't see that fortune in our favour. We won't see a team that misses the chances that Porto have whilst giving up the chances Porto have. You can't tell me that, because Aston Villa played the perfect defensive game against Bayern Munich and got the goal and beat Bayern Munich. So, you got to ask yourself this question: Aston Villa against Bayern Munich can hold a team that's quite used to scoring upwards of 5 goals almost every game this season. Makes you really think. Manchester United conceding 3 to Porto, 3 to Spurs, 3 to Liverpool. Just clock this, yeah. I think we played about 8 games this season in all comps. About 8 to 9 games in all comps. So in that time, 3 games, we've conceded 3 goals. I'm pretty sure it's 3 games that we've conceded 3 goals. That's like a third of the games this season we've conceded a ridiculous amount of goals. Conceded 2 to Brighton. Let's see how many, because I think our average, as it stands right now, is ludicrously high. Yeah. So yeah, we've essentially conceded in 3 of the games out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, 9 games, 3 games in those 9 conceded 3 goals. So yeah, so much for a well-oiled machine and a very disciplined defence. And a fantastic midfield that our manager likes to rate, likes to hype up. You know, Ericsson basically asked to do defensive work. The man doesn't know what defensive work is. You know, his best work in his career's come from the attacking midfield position. Guess where he's not playing? Casemiro. The guy's ludicrously slow. He's got a good bit of technicality to his game, but he's not delivering. It's not delivering. Rashford, absolute waste of time yet again, but apparently because he scored tonight, he's back. Absolute waste of time. Højlund scored the goal, didn't really do all that much else. Didn't have an absolutely atrocious game, but nothing really fantastic to write home about. Bruno's just abysmal every time he plays. That's his new norm. That's his own, like a 2 out of 10 to everybody is Bruno 6 out of 10. That's his average. Like that's it. Can't say anything different from that. Thought Mazraoui did fairly well for the most part, outside of one or two moments where he was beaten for pace. Didn't really put a foot wrong. Just consistency. He's the most consistent player in the team. Which if you were here for last weekend, Mazraoui was awful. So the fact that he could be awful last weekend to being consistent and fairly decent this weekend, this midweek game, just goes to tell you the state of the squad. The consistency is not fixed. Consistency is dead. Yeah, there's nothing consistent about this team. There's nothing genuine about this team. We are falling by the wayside, and I'm pretty convinced now, based off what I've seen tonight, that based off his starting 11, squad handling, game management, I predicted us losing 2-1. I did. I predicted us losing 2-1. We got a 3-3 draw. Does that make me toxic? Because I don't have the faith that Manchester United are going to do well. Doesn't mean that I don't want the team to win, because I do. I want Manchester United to win everything. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that at the moment. We're not winning. We're losing. I mean, people, 3-3 is a draw. That's not a loss. Well, actually, technically it is. A draw is a dross. You lose more than you get from a draw. It's a league format. You're playing for points here, not a replay. Not a replay, not extra time, and not penalties. You're playing for points. We've attained 2 points from our Europa League phase, right? Against Twente and Porto. Twente and Porto. We have Fenerbahce up next. If you were a Champions League sized club or Champions League sized team, you'd have 6 points on the board. Doesn't really matter how you win those games, it's just the fact that you do. And that's kind of where I would be, to be honest, even if we weren't playing all that well, but we were just winning games. Kind of like the first season, isn't it? Don't really play too well, but you're winning games. You're getting results. That's kind of where I was. I'm kind of wishing we were right now. Don't forget about playing like or trying to play sexy football. I mean, Jesus Christ, anything that you think is sexy is probably like, I don't know, a bloody walrus in a week. That's probably the sort of Ten Hag sexiness that he's probably trying to get us to play. It's madness, genuine madness. I'll tell you what the result of this game is essentially like, or the TLDR of this game, right? Maguire scoring that header at the last minute from a corner kick right at the death is essentially like an insurance scammer trying to get hit by a car, and somebody who works with this insurance scammer jumping in and saving him, pushing him out of the way at the last second. The insurance scammer, aka the manager, wants the payout. He wants the payout. He wants to convince the judges, look, this car hit me. Look, you should pay me. But then the person that's meant to set him up to try and play the case out is like, don't worry, I'll save you. No insurance scam for you, even though I'm working for you. Seriously, it goes completely against the will. I swear to God, the manager wanted to lose today. Apparently, he wasn't looking all that happy at full time. Apparently not. Apparently, I won't lie. He probably wanted to be sacked. He was probably hoping, listen, we lose tonight, I may be gone before Villa, but if not, then Villa will be ultimately the final curtain call. I'll finally be gone. Because you can't tell me, you can't convince to me that this manager, with the way that he's set that team up and managed it today, is serious about trying really hard to keep his job. Stay in the job, try and pick up as many positive results as possible, try and turn it around. This guy has had to try. This would be the third, look at it like this, yeah? This would be the third consecutive season that, since being a Man United manager, that Ten Hag would have to turn a bad start around. The third consecutive season. The first season was 2-1 loss to Brighton and a 4-0 dropping to Brentford. And he had to turn things around. Last season started off with a win against Wolves despite conceding about, 27 shots? I think it was the second most amount of shots we've ever conceded in Premier League history at home. And then, the rest. You know the rest. The results that followed. Yeah. Just up and down, up and down, up and down. Never convincingly winning anything. And, there was never a draw. We had that long stint where we just didn't draw any games. We just only had wins or losses, which was, was a big fallacy in the sense of point accumulation. Because, of course, when you win games or lose, the times you win comparatively to when you draw, you're picking up more points overall. So even though teams have probably had much, much better runs of form, way less losses than Man United, was still behind them in the table because the draws racked up. The draws racked up for them, and we only had wins or losses. So where they were drawing 2 games with losing 1, we'd win 1 and lose 2, but we still picked up more points than them. So, and even if they had 3 draws and we had 1 win with 2 losses, same amount of points. Same amount of points, goal difference count for naught until you are tied on the points, but we were ahead in points. So unfortunately, we're not sort of like specifically only wins or losses. We are draws now. We are draws. In the last 5 games, we have drawn 3 times, lost once, won once. The teams we drew to: Palace, Twente, and Porto. Teams we beat: Barnsley. Team we lost to: Tottenham. And next up, Aston Villa. Aston Villa failed to win there, winless. Yes, winless in 5. Winless in 5. Real Madrid go winless in 5. Manager, bye-bye. Most other top-notch clubs around Europe, winless in 5. Goodbye. Here's your P45. Enjoy whatever vacation you can get. And best of luck to getting a job soon, because you're going to need it. I mean, what is it? Was it Dinamo Zagreb? I think it was Dinamo Zagreb. Lose 9-2 to Bayern Munich. 9-2. A manager that has done impeccably well for them, right? Genuinely, impeccably well. Has done really, really good work for them. Let's find Croatian team. I'll see if I can bring up their managers. Their manager's record. So Sergei Zakirovic. So yeah, I think yeah. So basically, just working with Dinamo Zagreb, which, by the way, before the Bayern game, in the world in the build up to the Bayern game, had lost 1-0 to Split in the Croatian league. Lost a friendly, drew to Rijeka, I think. And before that, just win, draw, win, loss, win, draw, win, draw, win, loss, win. So their manager essentially got sacked off the back of one game. One! A Croatian manager. Well, he's not Croatian, he's Bosnian, but for a Croatian team, it took one result for a Croatian team against Bayern Munich for him to get sacked. Come on. We're not the same. We're not the same. Man United's manager, winless in five. Winless in five. In turmoil all season long. Turmoil last season. Turmoil first season. You know, difficulties and, you know, a lot of questioning looks, a lot of question marks of, you know, people speculating for 3 seasons. In third season, this guy can go winless in five and have his job secured. I mean, it would be an absolute, baffler, real baffler. Dinamo Zagreb, make no mistake, guys, are in a much better position than us. Much better position than us, as far as the club is concerned. In retrospect to their leagues, they've literally got they literally had a manager that was doing really well for them, and then got rid of him because of one game. Because of one, it took one manager gone. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was sacked after that. Yeah, he was sacked because then it's what was it? Perkovic, the Croatian manager, then took over. He was sacked for that, for just losing one 9-2 game. By the way, guys, you know, it does take you back to losing 7-0 to Liverpool, and people were saying you should not sack the manager for that one game. Croatian team Dinamo Zagreb did. And you know what? Very next game, new manager comes in, Slaven Belupo, battered them 4-1, didn't sack him. But, fair plays to them, the next 3 games, win 2, draw 1, scored 3 against Banjul away, scored 5 in the following game against another Zagreb, Lok Zagreb. And then they drew 2-2 against Monaco in the Champions League. So they've got a point on the board in their European campaign in the Champions League. We're 1 point better off. Mm. We're 1 point better off in our own league. So yeah, not good, not good. Just to sort of weigh up the situations here, in the case of one manager getting sacked because of one result, and then the other, people pledging to keep it, let him keep his job because he can turn it around. One manager was painfully stubborn, painfully stubborn. The other one, not so much, not so much, because at least he was actually doing things right over there before Bayern came along and absolutely abused them, sent them to Suplex City, just ended them, and it wasn't enough for him to survive. So yeah, make of that what you will, guys. Pop your thoughts and your feelings about the match down below. Um, Genuinely shocking, like shockingly bad. Manchester United really, really poor at the moment, and this draw, the saving grace of Maguire's last minute goal does absolutely nothing for this team going into Sunday. Absolutely nothing. If we get something from our game on the weekend against Aston Villa, if we get a win out of Sunday, I will lose grip. I will lose touch with what this world and this life is. I will absolutely just exit the matrix. I'd leave the matrix. I'd lose all understanding. I wouldn't get it anymore. I just wouldn't understand it anymore. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget also to like and subscribe. Um, we'll be back tomorrow, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. We'll be live on the American Idiots show with TJ Warren, and I would assume Dow, um, Dow as well, Oregon Goon. So it'll be nice to be speaking with them again after a little while. I'm sure they're going to absolutely try and cook me alive, but yeah, I'll have to bear with. It just is what it is. I have to take it on the chin. My massively glorious chin. You see that? That's more chin than most of those United players have. That we can safely say. We can safely say that. But yeah. Then also Saturday, there was meant to be the show tonight with Fans Fiesta with Anfield Uncle Rods. That was then moved back to Saturday as tonight's games were on, and he didn't want to clash with anything schedule wise. I'm sure on Saturday, like I did earlier today with the match preview, I should have something put out for Aston Villa game, um, which could be Ten Hag's last game in charge. So that's something. Um, let's see what happens. Basically, Saturday early afternoon, early morning, afternoon, whichever. We'll have the match preview for that game against Villa. Then, of course, match reaction should follow Sunday after the game. Plus, then, because I think it's the early kickoff, so then we'll also have the Sunday night takeaway show, which I believe is on. So I'm going to be quite busy over the next few days. So keep your eyes peeled for content on the channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow for American Idiots. Should really making us feel like Man United idiots right now with the way that this bloody team is playing. Man United idiots. Collaboration with American idiots. Gotta love it.